So, hello and welcome to another episode of Scoutabout Vlogs. This one, as you can see, is from the living room. There might be some more from other parts of the house. But this one's basically just a look at, as you can see by the title, scouting clothing that you kind of end up with. I don't particularly collect any of it, but when you end up doing a lot of different things, you generally end up collecting it. I'll just preface it by saying a lot of people will have a lot more stuff. Like I said, I don't particularly collect it, but you just kind of end up with it. So it's just a bit of a walk through all the stuff I've ended up with over the last 6-7 years, something like that, a bit more. So we'll start with the t-shirts. Again, neckers, I've got a lot of them. I might even do one on them. Badges, even more. But these generally, you take up a lot of space, so you kind of end up with quite a few. Again, they're just chucked out, so apologies if they're a bit creased, but this one is my group top, third Hindley, burgundy, one of our necker colours. We wear this on most nights when we're not needing uniform, or we're not out in the woods or something, but yeah, cotton, just a nice job, I like it. One below, Project Peru top, when I went to Peru on a 3-week expedition, community project. That was a badge designed by one of the team members. Cotton, I don't wear it too much because it's quite a bright top, but it's a nice keepsake. Underneath is my Explorer belt we did in 2016. So we went to Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Obviously from the UK, we did nip into Finland as well. But that was a badge I actually got to design, which is really cool that it got used because it uses the kind of Explorer belt logo mixed with the countries and the year, which I was chuffed about. This is one of my favourite tops. I do wear this quite a lot anyway because it's a polo and it's dark blue, so it looks quite smart. And it is a wicking sort of technical top as well, which is really good. Onto these. So these ones are kind of a few I got at the Jamboree. Last year's IST. You can get an option of getting hoodies and things and soft shells, but because it was so hot out there, I knew I didn't want one. This was the UK contingent one, just a plain simple technical base layer with T-Burr on, which was the UK contingent logo, which I think was a really cool idea. Plain and simple blue, bit more on the back. This one was the IST top you got as being IST from the national from the actual Jamboree themselves. It's slightly too big because they ran out of small, but it's quite nice, thin quality material, but and cool logo on it as well. Still wear that as well. Nice comfortable top, and it's really bright on behind. The Connect experience was the team I was part of, and an option of getting this one. So this is one of the few I selected, but I wanted to remember being part of that team. Again, it's a technical top, but it's really thick, collared again, so it looks smart. But yeah, in pictures and everything else, you stand out. There's a picture of Greater Manchester West when we all met up. That was the Jamboree unit, the Philmont unit, the IST, and I can find myself easily on it because it's I'm the bright yellow one. Over to sort of hoodies and things now. Again, I won't take too long over this. Don't know how interesting it actually is, but it's something to talk about. These two ice skate tops, the one on my left was my very first one. I chose it. I wanted orange and black. It looked quite cool at the time. This was basically what I wore to group meetings when it's a bit cold or whatever for the t-shirts, and we're not needing uniform, casual but still skating related and with a necker over the top. Again, the blue and red's quite cool as well. I don't wear the orange one too much now. It's getting a bit old. I wear it on camp. Most people know hoodies they might not be the best for drying and keeping you dry, but in terms of warmth and general comfiness, they're really good. Stash load in the pockets, and again, I don't mind if it gets embers on the campfire. I wear this one a bit more now to meetings because it's still relatively good nick. Let's move over to this one. This was my county hoodie that we had as part of the county team. It's got my name in big letters on the back. I really like the bright blue. A little bit brighter than our county necker, but still really nice. Again, it's got the GMW logo and the Swish logo, which is sort of the old branding, but one of my favourites. And I forgot to put, not last year's isn't on because we rebranded, but the U-shape month badges from when we've done the forums and things. So that was a kind of reminder, and it was a conversation starter for me as well, being youth commissioner. And near the end of that branding, there was a soft shell. regatta soft shell. Quite thin, but again, the blue looks quite smart and it stands out a bit. I still wear that occasionally. It is the old branding, but it's a nice piece of kit. And then finally on the soft shells, I say finally, it's the second one. It's probably one of my favourite ones I wear for everything is the Queen Scout Colour Party. And yes, before anyone mentions, the P is should be a capital, but that's just a little quirk about it. But that was for the being part of the Windsor Queen Scout Parade last year, and we got to basically decide our own informal practice wear, what that would be. Could have been a hoodie, could have been a fleece, so we went for soft shell. It wasn't the easiest thing to merch in, but it did look quite smart, and when you're all together, you look quite uniform. Obviously, on the day, you wear your proper uniform, but these were great just to chuck on top, and you carry on in light rain, and these were fine for shedding that off. So yeah, and then finally onto a couple more hoodies. This is my current hoodie I use for county meetings and things like that, or on top of my uniform. It's got the new fleur-de-lis branding, which, to be honest with you, has grown on me quite a lot. I know that's a topic of discussion, but it is quite smart. And it's got a full Greater Manchester West, so you don't have to explain what GMW is on, which is good. This one actually has my name on the back, does it? Yeah, does it? Absolutely massive letters, so I can be seen from miles away. And it's got it on the arm as well. This one's one of my favourite hoodies. Pretty obvious what it is. It's for the UK contingent, for the Moot. There was other countries like Australia had things like down jackets and things, which were really cool, but weren't really needed because it was surprisingly warm in Iceland at that time of year. The grey's grown on me. It is grey, but I don't know, it's like a nice, what do you call it, mottled grey, whatever you call it. But yeah, it's a cool hoodie. It stands out. And my favourite bit by far is the puffin that is on it, which was the UK contingent kind of part logo. That looks really cool, and there's a hat with it on, which I kept despite people wanting to swap it. So that's just a kind of random and messed up kind of look at some of my scouting clothing I've got